Hey, Tyler here out of Colorado. Wanted to show you groomers how to change an Andis 5-speed blade drive and hinge if you need it. So, here we go. First thing you're going to need is a regular Phillips screwdriver. P2 is what they call it. It's the regular one you'd find at your house. The other thing you might need, will need, is the P1 screwdriver. This is how to get rid of the blade drive screws, how to take them out. If you try using the big one, you're going to strip them out. The other thing you need is this little foam pad. It goes in the cap of your clipper. And lastly, you need a Andis OEM blade drive. So here we go. Alrighty, first things first, make sure the power cord is unplugged. Never work on your clippers or any electrical device with it plugged in. So here we go. First thing you want to do is remove the cap. This is the blade drive cap. It should slide out. Set that down. And then underneath you see your blade drive. So with the blade drive, we got two screws, one here, one here. Let's undo them with your P1 screwdriver. Alrighty. Next, the hinge. We're going to take your P2 screwdriver and undo the hinge screws. So, there we go. Pull off your old blade drive. See there's fur and hair in here? So let's try and clean that out. I like using an air compressor. Use the air compressor, blow it all out. Alright, here we have a new blade drive with the old blade drive side by side. This is the old, this is the new. You can see the difference. Maybe move them a little closer. This one's all chewed up. It's all eaten up. There's no grease left in it anymore down here for the camshaft. So you want to make sure you got that grease in your new one. And yeah, there's a side-by-side comparison for you. So you can see if it really needs it or not. The other thing is these wings can kind of get dry rotted, especially if you're not using enough oil or a lot of cooling sprays. These will dry rot and get stiff and brittle. On the new ones, it's kind of stiff. I can't really pull it. There we go. And I just like to one bend, and that's it. Just like that. Don't want to break it in, wear it out or anything, but just make it a little more flexible for the clippers. Makes the motor move a little easier, and it'll be quieter too. It won't sound like an airplane. So let's show you how to install this back in. So here's your clipper. You got a pin here up top. There's a little pin, another one, and then there are little slits that the blade drive will want to fit in. Right here and here. There's little slits. Hard to see on camera, but if you look on the blade drive, this is where the one slit goes, and that's where the pin goes. That hole here, this little one. So you gotta make sure the pin goes in that hole and the slit goes in the area it's supposed to go on both sides. Make sure it's just seated properly. There we go. See how it's not quite in there? There it goes. Make sure all your slits and everything are where they need to be. Just one more time. right there, right there. That pinhole, that pinhole. And then these are where your screws go. So you can screw it back in. And just make it snug. You don't want to overdo it because you can strip out the screws, and if you do it on this clipper, it's not very good because you might end up having to buy a whole new motor because they don't make the front motor mounts for these, unlike the other Andis. So that's it for the blade drive. Pretty easy. And now we'll go on to the hinge. So same thing. The hinge will have all kinds of fur and hair in it built up. You can see it down in here, all that. So what I'm going to do is take my air compressor and blow it out. That's it. All clean. Awesome. So, my hinge latch was broken. So, to replace the latch, there are 2 little holes in the back there and 2 holes in the latch. See them? And then there are springs. There's a spring, there's a spring. So we're going to want to feed those springs through the holes in the blade lock. To do that, just go like this and slide it on. Now you got a new blade lock. And all you got to do is take the spacer. So this is your hinge spacer. It goes right here on your clipper. And then your hinge will go right on top. And you will screw it back in. Both screws. And then lastly, on your cap, you want to take this little foam piece, peel off the back, stick it in there. Make sure it's all nice. And then we just install that on your clipper. Bam. Brand new blade drive. Everything will be beautiful. Your cut should be great. Hey, well, I hope that helps some of you change your blade drive and clean out your clippers and your hinge on your Andis 5-speed clippers. I think they're amazing clippers. Just need to keep them maintained, keep them running longer, and keep your work looking great. Anyway, if you have any questions, just leave in the comments below, and I'll make sure to help you out. Have a good one, groomers.